Yo, first and foremost, yo, you know what it is. I'm starting it off with Germex. You know what I'm saying? Germex and nothing. It's a killer. Straight up. The Germex that I'm using this morning, when you click on the link in the description, the Germex got some direction. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for the option. You know what I mean? Make a purchase, make a donation. Yo, be consistent. Be in no less of a place. You know what I'm saying? Straight at them. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get there. You know what I mean? Yo, you don't want to show up no less. If you show up less, then you don't know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? When you know what you're showing up for, yeah, you know what it is. Germex, you know what I mean? The shooter, the informant, you know what I mean? Yeah. Listen, the stimulus checks are soon to be distributed, even though they're not implementing them based on saying you too lazy now, but you're gonna be in death's way. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna tell you something that crazy, you gotta. It's time to. They blocked off the Capitol building. You can't. Your freedom of speech has been hindered. Now they're gonna tell you something like, we don't have your stimulus check either, and you're gonna be just out of work, out of housing, out of transportation, out of clothing, out of food, and that's just the norm. That's not real for America. You know what I'm saying? The world is watching this. You know what I mean? We didn't ask for this pandemic. You know, when these people are participating in redirecting the vaccine chemistry that I composed on the gavel plaque, nobody's defending the argument. They're allowing it to take place. So I got to come out swinging. You know what I mean? Is the reason why I use Germex. Germex transfer digitally. When you see that transfer, it's 99.9%, 99.99% kills germs. Guaranteed to kill germs. So I use Germex. Listen. Now if they're not going to have hazard pay, they need to have hazard pay. They need to have recurring payments. They need to have your basic stimulus check. I don't know if it's going to be monthly like they suggested. With the situation I'm going through, I'm doing the album. The album is soon to be completed, although I have challenges currently present where people locally are challenging the album, challenging the vaccine and challenging the album, challenging whatever I'm doing, attempting to steal what I'm doing, the Confederacy, the KKK, the Commonwealth of Virginia. You know, all these factors and the challenging of my situation are present right now. You know, when I'm expressing it, it's within reason of expressing my First Amendment rights to freedom of speech, freedom of expression. I can believe what I want to believe. I believe the Confederacy is attacking my business, and it's my right to do so. I can exercise my freedom of speech. They're trying to challenge me in some type of death match, and nobody's dying. You know, it's some type of death match present with the Confederate Army, with the Commonwealth of Virginia, with the mental health department. You know, I explained all in detail, and then on top of it all, the pandemic. They talk about not distributing the stimulus checks. So on that level, Nancy Pelosi can see my efforts to establish the hip hop headquarters, to issue stimulus checks when the vaccine is currently injected inside of you at the same place, at the same time. You know, she can see my consistency with the vaccine chemistry that I composed on the gavel plaque. She can see my consistency as opposed to the challenges that I'm exposed to along the way. So I haven't caught a body or nothing, but you can see the challenges that I'm exposed to, that, a body could show up and they point the finger at anybody. So, saying that to say, Nancy Pelosi could be a little more sinister than Nancy Pelosi appears. Based on what I've experienced, I called Nancy Pelosi directly, and what happened is I left the message and I received no response. And when I left the message this time, I didn't receive a response, but I seen a couple of tweets, here and there, but I never seen the consistency of Speaker of the House. It's one thing to just be a congressperson, but it's another thing to be Speaker of the House and not functioning based on speaking for the entire Congress. That's different. So saying that to say, from that perspective, I'm up against all types of challenges in an effort to establish a stimulus check, vaccine process that's fair and equal for all Americans and the world alike when it gets that far. When the pandemic hit, the world stepped in and said, well, here's a ventilator. Here's some supplies. They had supplies readily available. They sold them. They sold them to America, but they had them available. They had them available. That was important because without those supplies, we couldn't combat the extremes of the pandemic, COVID-19. When we combated the extremes of the pandemic, then we later got the vaccine in circulation. Now, I haven't been paid for my assistance in that process, but what I did was I created a platform, a level playing field to distribute the vaccine, to establish the creation of the vaccine. When you're on a crowded bus, there's nobody saying, all right, watch out, make sure this person has room here. Make sure this is situated here. Wear your mask. It's nobody doing that along the way. So when I did that, it was like I created an OSHA presence and the vaccine distribution presence and the vaccine distribution process that never happened before. The pandemic never happened before to the extent it was bubonic plague, it was an AIDS virus, it was all that. But when that happened, there wasn't the presence of safety simultaneously. So when I'm issuing stimulus checks currently, I'm issuing stimulus checks in a way that without there being a stimulus check, I will put a tweet, 1000millionfoundation.com, Congress, hypothetically, 8 o'clock a.m., p.m., 8 o'clock p.m. I'll put 1000 Million Foundation Congress, 8 o'clock p.m. sharp, with 0 on the dial. And then I will put Congress, a picture of Congress, and 1000 Million Foundation. So 1000 Million Foundation and Congress will be in the same place on one tweet with a picture of Congress. And on the next tweet, it'll be 8 o'clock with the United States flag, fire extinguisher, American Lifetime clock, business card, all that would be in one location at 8 o'clock, 1000 Million Foundation and Congress. So I'm practically issuing the stimulus check, but I'm creating a level playing field so that Congress could have an incentive to issue the stimulus check as opposed to saying I'm issuing a stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? If I was issuing a stimulus check, I should be well within reason of having the resources to issue a stimulus check. They shouldn't be trying to ride me around, without having transportation, the proper housing, the proper clothing. When you see my merch is a direct result. My merch is a direct result of not having the proper clothing, the proper transportation, the proper resources, as opposed to the information I generate. The information I generate is well within reason of having on, the right clothes, right transportation, right housing. If I say I tried to purchase a 900G joint and I don't have the 900G joint, I'm being challenged, then most certainly the level of information that I'm conveying to you currently, click on the link in the description. See what type of information I'm transferring as opposed to the information I just explained to you with Congress at 8 o'clock with the 1,000 Million Foundation, with the American Lifetime Clock, with the business card, with the fire extinguisher, with the United States flag. When you see that consistency, and then you see Congress, 1,000 Million Foundation with a picture of Congress, Congress has a level playing field that nobody else established up to date as consistent as mine. I haven't been paid. When I go to Nancy Pelosi, she abandons her identity, and I'm faced with the extremes of KKK, Confederacy, Commonwealth Virginia. I'm in the jurisdiction where slavery began. Crazy. Like when she abandons her identity, it's like she's popping a gun right at me. Pop, pop, pop. And I'm going to use my Germex because I'm not going to be a target. Germex, 99.99% of the time, Germex kills. I'm not, if you're trying to kill me, I'm going to make sure you understand you're going to get killed. Germex. Better believe if you're trying to kill me, I'm going to make sure you get killed. Killed, not die. Killed. Killed is not the same thing as dying. When you die, you just die and it looks natural. I'm talking about killed, get shot. If you're trying to shoot me, I'm going to shoot you.